They're not the best team NA has ever had. I think obviously my goal is to stop that from happening because I was on TSM and we managed to win 3 splits in a row. I feel like we would have kept on winning 4, 5, 6 splits in a row if we managed to stay together, but obviously we didn't. And I think my mission right now is just to stop TL from winning the 4th.
Well, he's only one step away from completing his mission now. Svenskeren and the rest of Cloud9 with a 2-1 lead over Team Liquid, and y'all are back just in time for Game 4.
You gotta remember though, no lead is safe against Team Liquid. Just last split, reverse sweeping TSM in the final. So Cloud9 have to make sure they're checking all those boxes and taking it game at a time if they want to close this out.
Something pivotal in that last game, though. Cloud9 got that victory so quickly from red side. Now heading into Champions Select with the blue side advantage and that first pick possibility. Seems like they do have all the momentum.
We'll see if Team Liquid can stop it or if this will be Cloud9's first win, first taking of the trophy in a very long time. Into Champion Select we go. Cloud9 will continue to keep the Sona away from Team Liquid. Corki also banned out. TL going for the Akali and the Yuumi bans.
And I think really the question is, can TL just deal with the constant aggression from C9, right? That has been the difference maker in these last 2 games. It has been less about the picks, more about the play. And I think that Cloud9 really is stepping up as a whole. They are really pushing TL to the brink. We're seeing Zeyzal have these incredible engages. We're seeing the top side of the map for C9 playing to perfection, and it's really all coming together.
Honestly, I want a Qiyana pick, boys.
Yeah?
Gragas popped up for the first time.
They've got the aggressive jungler part of it down. They could take that melee assassin, the explosive pick, but again, Impact gonna get that Aatrox?
Yeah, Qiyana, possible. Also, you have to remember, Gragas Yasuo was a pick that Cloud9 had brought out in the regular season, was huge for their Academy squad as well. So they have a lot of time with that combo, and Cloud9 getting their hands on Gragas for the first time this series. I want to see what they're going to pair up with it, because we're talking about the aggression that Cloud9 can bring out. Gragas can bring that so often, so early. Body slam flash sometimes feels nigh unavoidable.
All right, good switch up here, I think, for Team Liquid. No! Thinking about that Jarvan for some earlier ganks, but it looks like it's going to be back to the old Skarner.
You know, I gotta say I'm a little bit surprised. I do kind of understand into Gragas. Some players do like the Skarner, being able to kind of grab him if he ever goes in. It is an AP build, so fairly squishy if you can actually ult him up. Urgot is a fairly strong matchup into Aatrox, but not really meta these days. Don't think we'll see it. And
baby! Wish granted. Qiyana locked in for Cloud9.
We got to see Nisqy's Qiyana against Jensen's TF in the regular season, and it was paired up with the Gragas. They got a first blood on him very, very early. Jensen has got to be careful about this.
Yeah, let me recount for you. Flashes are up on these champions, then it is insanely hard for you to deal with it. LeBlanc is a champion that not only brings mobility, but a very frustrating passive to pull off those kills on.
Plus, playing any kind of an assassin into Skarner, assassins are the worst, or the best class in the game if you're the Skarner player, because you just shut all of them down so easily. He will have to play so carefully around this jungler of Team Liquid if Nisqy wants to succeed.
And I think having all this mobility that is so critical for LeBlanc, you know, against this combo in particular, the Qiyana can go for that flash EQ with the root. The root sets up for the body slam flash from the Gragas. This is so hard to avoid. You know, your only real chance is things like a quick distortion and then utilization of that passive you talked about, Kobe, to try to survive through it.
We're going into the second half of the bans now. Team Liquid, they don't want Licorice back on the Kled. They will keep that one away. Cloud9 removing the Xayah as well. Rakan got banned out in the first half. Xayah now in the second.
Draft order also is critical here. We have to be paying attention to the fact TL have their bottom lane both saved for last.
Yes.
So this could potentially be TL trying to look for really lane dominant 2v2. And I would be excited to see them go for something like that. Caitlyn still could be banned away by Cloud9, but Caitlyn is available. And Caitlyn, paired alongside something like a ranged support, can really punish some of these lanes if you're willing to play that pushing style.
I mean, I was praising the Team Liquid bottom lane in the first game for how well they played throughout summer, but in games 2 and 3 in both of these Cloud9 wins, it was really Nisqy and Zeyzal stepping up a lot in the face of Doublelift and CoreJJ, so maybe this is the medicine Team Liquid needs in this 4th game.
I was going to agree and say like Morgana Black Shield does so much for it as well, but Braum can block the Gragas initiation. One of the biggest things with the Unbreakable, you can actually stop the ultimate, which does count as a projectile, and take away one of the biggest playmaking tools of the Gragas.
Yeah, certainly gives you some stability, additional frontline as well. They still could go to something like the Caitlyn if they want, but I'm expecting a lot less when paired alongside this Braum. But really, it's up to Doublelift, this last pick being saved for him, and we'll see if he wants to pick for lane or more just for something to round out the composition here.
One of the biggest things you can do with the Braum into the Alistar, even though Cloud9 are picking into it, is punish the Alistar early on when he goes for those initiations. Because Braum can slow you and stun you up on your way out, it makes it possible for a lot of counterplay on the side of Team Liquid.
Cloud9 picking up the Alistar and the Poppy here for the final pick.
Yeah, Zeyzal had an incredible Alistar game. Feed the hot hand, give it back to him, see what he can get done for you here. Don't think we're actually going to get that into Poppy. It's so hard to actually play. With that steadfast presence, with that W, you will actually get sunned up anytime you are looking for the roll.
Doublelift's smiling pretty big, though.
Oh my God. Okay, yeah.
He's smiling because it's a meme, my friend.
No, I was hoping he was smiling because it wasn't Sona. I had that hope tucked away, but unfortunately, no.
Yeah, it just wouldn't make sense, I think, into a comp that has this much engage and this much CC. Too hard for Vayne to actually survive in this. This is going to give them some more safety. You can build into things like the Iceborne to help survive against that Qiyana dive, who is going to be stacking early lethality, and I think it will allow them to kind of focus on some of the other lanes a bit more.
And one of the biggest things with Qiyana is that it's not just scary for your mid laner. It's not about the mid lane matchup 1v1. The Qiyana, very often, successful Qiyanas will target the enemy jungle. It's one of the biggest strengths that you can have with this champion. If you as a jungler for Qiyana get her ahead, if you help her roam through, she is devastating throughout the jungle, throughout the river, and most likely Nisqy will target Xmithie on that Skarner, as we talked about, can be squishier target than you think early on, and look for the kills to snowball there.
Exactly. I think it's a great point, and that is because the Qiyana ultimate, wraps around that terrain. And in these close corridors, it becomes so hard to actually avoid that ultimate stun.
And when I'm looking at these rosters at what's been drafted here for game number 4, you've got engage potential on so many champions for Cloud9. On the side of Team Liquid, you have counter engage. But the only real big engage tool you have is that Skarner, who will be limited by things like Predator and Flash and Righteous Glory to really get him in there.
And that's why, to me, for TL, it's going to be about vision control. It's going to be about setting up picks, as it always is with the LeBlanc. LeBlanc wants to be able to spread the map, to find ways to really prey on these targets. And you can see these two mid laners are going to be going right at each other, both rocking the Electrocute, both rocking the Ignite. This is going to be a really aggressive mid lane, and we have seen them trading blows back and forth.
All right, I want to see if Team Liquid can go for a level 1 here. Braum and Ezreal is so good at actually invading level 1 and looking for advantages. Yes, they have to be scared about Alistar in a brush, but you have so many tools to check that brush. There's Klepto on the Ezreal. You can even gain money from going for some of these level 1 opportunities, and Braum is insane with these slow and then passive stuns that you can get off with Q applications. But it looks like Team Liquid here in a must-win game do not want to risk any chances on a level 1.
Yeah, it looks like nobody's up for those risks. Cloud9 not exactly wanting to do anything wacky at level 1 either. You can see them all just setting up in the bottom side of their own jungle here around the red buff. CoreJJ and Jensen will go ahead and take that Skarner Spire there in the river, grab a little bit of extra gold for both of themselves. About a caster minion's worth, so worth picking up.
Yeah, Xmithie, did start with the trinket, dropped a ward at his own entrance to watch for any potential invades, and then he just resets, swaps over to the sweeper, And it's going to be about, clearing out some of those early river wards as he goes to check for a gank. Even just the denial of that vision can make it much more difficult for a laner to play around.
Looking for the slam into the wall, possibly. Nope, starts the Q. Just gets a little nice trade there. Impact not able to get his auto off quite yet, and Licorice quite happy.
Yeah, Licorice did a good job getting down that ward early on, too, right next to Krug camp, because Xmithie will want to go up there, potentially, if he plays like he has in the past couple of games, to clear those Krugs nice and early. He grabs his Raptors second, and now pinging onto the Krug camp, he'll walk up there, and you can see on your screen, Qiyana was what was played by Cloud9 in their Week 8 win against Team Liquid, and Nisqy did a pretty darn good job with it.
Yeah, he jumps in there, blocks the CS from Nisqy, as well as getting a good trade for himself. So Jensen feeling very confident on this LeBlanc counter pick that they have prepared.
A lot of farm, though, for Nisqy to still actually pick up here. So, Jensen focusing on the harass, trying to win the lane, through non-stop auto attacks in this range versus range match, or range versus melee matchup rather, will mean you're going to drop some of the CS.
Licorice will continue throwing out those shields onto Impact. Very powerful when you pair with the Grasp of the Undying on this Poppy. Helps keep you sustained up, give you some more power in that lane.
Poppy is one of the best at keeping up constant procs of the Grasp because of that passive, especially on Aatrox. Licorice.
There you go, steadfast presence. Licorice gives him the hammer.
Really interesting trade pattern that you can use. It kind of referred to as the minion taxi for Poppy. You charge one of the minions as Licorice just did.
Oh, and now he's slammed up into the wall. Licorice just barely can't get the what?
Oh no, you hate to see it happen. Licorice almost looked like he was going to let him get away there, and then Impact tries to go back in for it and gives over the first blood.
Well, let me tell you, Licorice loves to see it happen, and so do his teammates. They're returning to the top lane to now zone Impact off of the double-stacked minion wave. He's still got flash, but he's not going to be in range for even experience.
These are the things that Tilt is made of. You mess up a play like that, and now having to give up all of this farm, knowing you're down experience, knowing you're already down gold because your opponent got first blood, this is brutal for Impact, and the wave is going to push against him.
And look at the inventory of Licorice. That is a Chad Poppy with an Executioner's calling to shut down the heals. Let's take another look. Almost.
Walks away just to throw out the other auto to finish him, waits for the passive to come back up. He has the range one, and Impact got too close. Thanks.
Yeah, Licorice having a laugh after that one. It's tough because maybe Impact doesn't get out, but you at least have a chance of getting a trade kill because, the wave was pushing in, so theoretically Licorice should come in and finish him off with that passive. But if you come into turret range to do that again, you will go down.
And you have a flash outplay possibility there for Impact, right?
Yeah.
But regardless, now we're in the world where first blood solo kill Poppy goes over to Licorice.
Svenskeren has flash, they're going in!
There we go, bottom side. Zeyzal once again making those plays. Svenskeren underneath the turret and throws the barrel into the woods. Not quite what they're looking for.
Yeah, Svenskeren wanted it all. He wants to go for Doublelift there. Perhaps could have just gone for CoreJJ, who wasn't actually on that turret, flashing past to try to take down Doublelift. And Doublelift survives, gets his Sheen buy off. Meanwhile, mid lane going quite well here for Jensen. So gold is actually dead even despite the tragedy that we witnessed on the top lane there for Impact, as he's not feeling good about this one.
Yeah, a little bit of a misplay on the bottom side of the map there too.
A game of unforced errors, honestly, here in game number 4. Team's getting a little bit sloppy here as the pressure mounts. We'll see who can clean those up as we keep going forward. Licorice now farming up the wave that has been pushed back out by Impact on this Aatrox. Xmithie making his way into the top side, but it's not really in a spot that he can gank right now.
Yeah, the wave would be pushing back towards Impact's turret, so eventually there is a possibility of looking for something there. Perhaps he could do Krugs and then look back to it, but it can be pretty difficult to actually knock this Poppy down. Impact sitting just on the door and shield, so you're not exactly going to be putting out a lot of pressure.
Licorice can easily walk out of the chains there. Impact won't get too much out of that one. The trades will continue back and forth between these two. Licorice now with a Keeper's Verdict available, and Impact has to back away.
Look at Licorice there, just staying on the edge of the range for the Q activations of Impact. Waiting them out, taking some of the cooldowns, positioning very aggressively as well, and already some pings up. Jungler and mid lane are looking for the roam here. Controller laid down through the river to light the way.
Yeah, you can see both supports back to base, pick up their boots, look to go place some vision down, and then reconvene down in that bottom lane. But it is 3-man top. Xmithie is running up here quickly, but Impact may be dead before he gets there.
The dive's coming in, but as soon as they see Xmithie, they at least back off long enough for the minions. Team Liquid has to try to outplay this one, but man, Impact just disappeared.
Here comes Jensen. He wants to try to get some of these low health bars.
Beautiful denial.
Licorice is just popping off on this Poppy here, able to eject the only possibility of a Team Liquid rebuttal.
Yeah, that was so big. Jensen had the flash up, the ignite up. He could have potentially cleaned up some of these kills. Xmithie is able to get back together here with Impact, but Impact just gets burst down so quickly. The stun into the wall sets up perfectly for all of this damage to come out from C9.
Yeah, there is no outplay once you're under the wall right there. Poppy stun into full Gragas combo, but then here on the exit, Licorice stays in the brush, so Jensen has no vision of him charging up the Poppy ultimate, allows him to land that and secure the exit for C9.
We do have to point out though, look at the mid lane CS, 70-39 for Jensen. So Jensen really has, in that 1v1, been getting so much work done, and that is why this game is close.
And that is over a kill. That much CS there is enough gold to be able to make some sort of answer here for Team Liquid. After the recalls, though,
I mean, they're ahead in gold.
They're gonna reset the lanes. Impact does not want to stay up on that top side in the Poppy matchup.
Right, we've seen what Cloud9 has done to the top side and how far behind Impact should be. That CS difference is smaller than what is demonstrated in mid right now, just to give context to the power of the lead that Jensen has built there for himself. Bottom side, you can see Doublelift and Nisqy, both with the ultimates ready to go. CoreJJ also has his. Critically, Zeyzal still no Alistar ult, meaning the big engage potential still isn't quite there without a big risk associated with it. Control wars placed by both sides as well.
Yeah, Xmithie now 6 on that Skarner. There is a really good ward from Cloud9, which he will be able to spot out, but no real opportunity to actually look towards mid lane now that they know he's in the area. You can see Nisqy immediately playing to the top side of the map. He's going to be playing opposite side of where he knows this Skarner is.
Junglers getting a quick peek at each other there.
Yeah, good job here for Svenskeren, hovering around Nisqy, knowing that he's vulnerable. Because look at the position of the minion wave. Jensen has done a very good job manicuring that in front of the tower, keeping it in a dangerous spot for Nisqy. So he had to call Svenskeren over. And in the end, it's going to be a blue handoff. With a level lead for Jensen, still going to hold on to it.
Svenskeren prowling around the enemy jungle, won't find the blue buff here, walks up and sees the Gromp. Xmithie waiting by the blast cone, but you got to be careful walking up towards that Gragas. Jensen wanting to maybe collapse if C9 try to use this mid and jungle duo to make a play on the bottom side. Cloud9 recognize the risk and they back away. Yes, they've had some plays happen so far on the top side, but the close state of this game means that you can't go forcing anything too hard.
Yeah, it can be very risky to look for a play like that. So many big cooldowns available, flash ults for both these junglers, and it feels like the plays are likely going to be made around that.
All right, Skarner trying to get that Spire control down by the Dragon as well to open up these pathways for Xmithie to continually back up Jensen, allow Jensen to play aggressively on Nisqy and try and further the CS discrepancy here.
Jensen with a blue buff will provide infinite amounts of harass onto Nisqy unless Svenskeren can stop that, show up at the right time with the distortion and punish some of that aggro, but it won't be happening just yet. Svenskeren clearing out the topside Scuttle Crab. Doublelift once again going to be using the True Shot Barrage for lane priority as Svenskeren will start up the Rift Herald and just drag it out of the pit and walk away.
I think stabilizing a little bit now on that top side. It does feel like Impact's still quite behind, and Licorice on this Poppy is going to have, I think, a really good time in this game. Anytime you are playing in tank into mostly physical damage like this, yes, there is magic damage from LeBlanc, but Assassin does not want to target you on the Poppy, so you can build almost exclusively armor and just rely on your health as kind of that buffer against the LeBlanc. So itemization should be easy and off to this big head start.
Yeah, especially anytime you're a Poppy with a 30 CS lead and 2 kills to your name. That's feeling real
That's pretty
good.
nice. I like that.
Let's see if he can put that extra move speed to use too with the steadfast presence. You know, Poppy early on in the game, a lot of credit to the base damages. It's very threatening when he goes to invade in your jungle as well. And they're already throwing a lot of pings around the Rift Herald. Almost 12 minutes into the game. This is the opportunity where you have time to take it and you'll still have a couple choices of where you can activate it, but if you wait much longer, then you lose out on some of the extra gain. You can see by the mini map, Team Liquid do not want any more fights on the top half of the map. They would rather trade objectives, which I think is the correct choice.
Yeah, this is kind of going to be that clutch gaming play where they are going to top side. They're going to actually lane swap on this Rift Herald take, drop the Rift Herald on the top side, and look to crack first turret up there. And that should be an easy grab for them. Teal will be down here trying to trade, but again, it will be C9 faster on this play.
Right, normally you see a Mountain Drake get taken, you think, hey, that's great for turret plating, but when it has to race against Shelly, the edge goes over to Cloud9, who will now take a lot of damage off of this top lane. Tier 1, bottom side though, Licorice in some danger, gonna be bursted down, but not completely out of the picture just yet. Keeper's Verdict is ready to go, knocks the Skarner away. Doublelift will keep on farming between the two turrets. Minion wave makes its way up underneath the turret once again. Licorice is doing everything he can to keep him away. A nice play coming out from Licorice. Almost able to find the kill, but almost isn't gonna do it. Shut down for Doublelift, and a nice body block from Xmithie.
That was honestly so well played by Licorice, though. He was very close to getting the outplay in the 1v3. Survived so long and did buy them the time. And yes, he goes down, but they got first turret top, and he didn't lose anything on that bottom side. They protected that, so now they can swap their bot lane back down here and just take a 1-0 turret trade.
All right, let's take another look at it here. He's able to get the early slam, try and get himself to safety. Gets CC comboed there down to extremely low. This is where it gets dicey, right? You're trying to choose who to eject, Xmithie out to the top side, and you're given this opportunity. Doublelift decides to go in here. The minion dies, so he takes that turret. Gets them so low. Maybe you could try and say, calculated in the end. That's what you say as the Ezreal. Right. Your escape, haha, baited you in. But in the end, Cloud9 pretty happy with how it's going.
And you can see there some words of Cloud9 on Twitter. I saw that one. It got like 2,000 likes in 3 minutes or something. The fans are eating it up.
And the timing on this actually was from the last game where he was actually getting slammed. This time around on the LeBlanc. Display has a huge CS lead, and completing this Luden's Echo, we have to see a big play come out of this LeBlanc right now, right? He's got the experience lead. He has a completed burst damage that's available to him to 100% burst people. So now it's the time for Jensen's rebuttal. Will he be able to answer that tweet?
Yeah, we'll find out. I mean, Nisqy here does have an early Hex Trigger to try to survive in that 1v1. You know, the Moby Boots are online. He wants to make roams happen, but look at that damage. The Hex Trigger not doing much to help him out there.
Nisqy never in control of the priority of this lane. With Jensen having that damage potential, it's easy for him to be the one with priority over the wave. Make Nisqy clear things out. Jensen will be first on the roams, and an assassin versus assassin, first to the fight, is usually the guy coming out on top.
The one kind of wrinkle to that is Nisqy at times is just willing to give up the wave, right? And he has the Moby Boots, so if Jensen is playing for the wave, Nisqy can just say, we're going to sacrifice that and commit to a play on the bottom side. Because Cloud9 is not a team that is always going to shy away from a risky play. They're willing to take those shots, and certainly something that Liquid is going to have to watch out for.
Attempt at the blue buff coming out there from Svenskeren, at least trying to cause enough interference to make Team Liquid nervous. Maybe force Xmithie to smite it, but they won't have to do that. Jensen once again in control of the buff as Cloud9 tries to contest vision in the enemy jungle. However, the wards placed down from Team Liquid will maintain their control.
And honestly, I think that is a good word for Team Liquid. They are much happier with the pace of this game. Last game, it was this time in the game, 16 minutes in, it was already double-digit kills.
This is actually really nice. So Svenskeren goes mid to help Nisqy push out that wave to circumvent the issue you were talking about, Captain Flowers. Now running with him straight down to bot and trying to threaten this dive.
Xmithie's there though.
Svenskeren and Nisqy trying to start it off, but Nisqy's in some danger. That's what I'm talking about. Assassins versus Skarner, but Svenskeren gets one in return. Impact's able to show up from behind, and Cloud9 are probably going to have to get out of here unless they can turn it around. Licorice shows up, and TL must retreat. Jensen's hanging out on the flank. but a ward spots him out.
And in the end, it is a 1-for-1. Yeah, mid laner for support, generally a trade up in map pressure for Team Liquid. But the bottom tower actually sustained quite a bit of damage as well. And Sneaky, Licorice might stay around to try and get the extra gold out of the outer.
It is going to mean, though, that, again, in this mid-lane matchup, Jensen gets further and further ahead. Doublelift, got to hold on to that shift. You got to make sure you're not doing it in that steadfast presence and getting locked up. And a lot of the TL members are going to have to actually deal with this. It is very, very risky. This was a pretty obvious dive from Cloud9, given that they saw them leaving the lane. Xmithie was here in time. Braum ult, straight into the Skarner ult. Nisqy gets locked down and knocked down, but CoreJJ feeling like they could actually chase for this with the impact TP coming through, but he just went too early, and then Sneaky, great positioning over on the side. He gets into the brush, avoiding all the damage dealers, and is able to fire back onto impact.
I'm pretty sure Team Liquid thought that Zeyzal had already used the ultimate in the tower dive, but Alistar had not popped the ultimate to try and tank that one. It was an unconventional tower dive. Jensen here goes in for a bit of a chunk onto Svenskeren, trying to open up for this dragon fight.
Licorice loses half his HP. That's your fed member. That's your big meatball of a Poppy that's not in any place to be tanking now.
And you've got to point out Doublelift's itemization. Triforce, as well as that Mermana already done for him. 1750 in. He is so strong right now, so I do not know if Cloud9 want to mess around with this Ezreal. You know, this is one of the strongest points in the game for him. With Kai'Sa just sitting on the one item, the power differential is enormous.
Cloud9 will decide that that is not worth the risk, instead backing away, but 2 Mountain Drakes on the side of Team Liquid is a lot of objective-taking power. They'll put the auto attacks into this tier 1 turret here in the mid lane. The first turret that Team Liquid has taken so far this game. And with that, they're keeping the gold within 500.
Definitely a very good pace here now for Team Liquid. Look at all these control wards they've got around mid lane too. This is all territory for Jensen to work with. This LeBlanc still looking for that first kill. Got the spell penetration, Sork boots up as well. All of these areas, you know, Jensen's trying to find that path to make the assassin work.
Yeah, and really, it's going to require TL to get vision for this, right? You have to kind of have these pockets of vision. He's up on the top side right now, but really no TL wards are up in that area. You can see pretty much all their vision, remains down on this bottom side here in preparation for that dragon. So that was the area they were focusing on. And when Jensen goes cross map like this, he is going to have a little bit of time before they can clear out all this area. And now Xmithie showing him there are no wards can allow him to try to play a little bit more aggressively.
Such a close game here in number 4. Cloud9 a single game away from finding that trophy for the first time in years. It wasn't since the days of the old school Cloud9 squad that they have been able to claim the victory here in the finals. And for so many of these players, especially Svenskeren that we heard from, it means so much.
And Sneaky has been to finals 5 years in a row, and every time finished in second place. He's the only member of this current C9 squad that was there the last time they won a championship. And he's such a competitor. He's been around for so long, and they're going to go in now.
CoreJJ caught out. Cloud9 looking to make the moves, but here comes Team Liquid. Shut down on the Doublelift, and that one's going to be big. Sneaky's barely getting himself away. So much damage, but 2 are dead on the side of Cloud9. Zeyzal's likely going to be next. He tries to turn it back around, but Xmithie is too tanky.
So much damage expended from Cloud9 on the Braum. One of the tankiest members in CoreJJ able to jump to safety. Team Liquid with the turnaround, get 3 kills for themselves, and they have control. Topside should be taken down by Jensen, an objective after the fact.
Yeah, Team Liquid really starting to feel like they're getting a bit more into their comfort zone in this game. They're trying to push us to a potential game 5 here. Cloud9 not having the topside, mid-side kind of advantage that they're used to in this series. This is not nearly in as strong of a position as you say. It is CoreJJ that comes out here, and a lot of the damage is actually dumped into him after they're trying to get this pick. They're ulting in on him. They get him extremely low, aren't able to take him down. But Doublelift does get, looks like, rooted up there by Nisqy, which allowed them to actually turn around and burst him out.
Yeah, in the end, though, Sneaky's still inside the rest of the team. Once Jensen comes down, nobody is getting out 4C9. Zeyzal gets tracked down. Xmithie still has a shield, so he doesn't die. And that is going to be Team Liquid now gaining momentum.
I think if I had to make a list of every champion that has cost teams fights by being engaged on when he shouldn't have been, Braum's at the top of the list. He can be so deceptively tanky once the shield goes up and he jumps to an ally to protect himself better. It's a mistake for Cloud9 that now has them behind Team Liquid in the gold count.
And that was actually the ult from Nisqy, but they're going to engage onto Xmithie.
He's into the stopwatch, but it will not keep him alive. Licorice gets the kill.
I mean, Xmithie is chasing. Your solos are not there. Why are you chasing forward?
And the teleport cooldown for Impact isn't even ready. He couldn't even join if he wanted to there. Team Liquid, they don't have a teleport on Jensen, so spread out like that, it's exactly what Cloud9 wanted. All that being said, he does finish up that bottom tower. C9 answering towards mid.
True shot barrage fired off by Doublelift just to try to clear the minions away. CoreJJ with a glacial fissure. They want to protect the tier 1. Over the wall goes Jensen, and back to the fountain goes Svenskeren.
Here's
Impact has arrived with the world ender ready to go. Licorice will use the Keeper's Verdict to buy a little bit more time. Nisqy tries to escape, and he'll get out.
Very well disengaged there by Cloud9. The headbutt from Zeyzal, the Keeper's Verdict there from the Poppy, knocking out critical members, but TL are so much more healthy, and they can just march down mid, take this tier 2 for themselves.
Good pickup there for Team Liquid. They're now 2,500 gold ahead, and Jensen's LeBlanc is crossing names off his kill list.
This front line for Team Liquid is making it so difficult for Cloud9 to actually operate here. Nisqy starved out very early on this Qiyana, is a champion that really wants to thrive in the mid game. But when you're so far behind on itemization, there's a lot less threat to the all-ins from Qiyana, and Cloud9 being split up and having a hard time getting around this Team Liquid tank line, especially the Braum, is opening up opportunities for Jensen. I mean, that was just Svenskeren getting chunked down by the tower, pops over for the easy kill and chain into another Team Liquid objective.
I mean, one of the toughest things about being behind as Nisqy in this game is how are you ever going to make a pit stop for a QSS, right? You're so far back in your itemization. You had to go Hex Drinker because Jensen is dominating this lane, and now you're saying, oh, guess what? You also need to spend 1,300 to not just get locked up by the Skarner in every fight, so it's just not realistic for him to get there.
Team Liquid now have control over the neutral areas of the map. Look at the amount of wards. Yes, half of them are zombie wards, but that's still vision you got. Controlling that northern part of the river, controlling that Baron pit, and daring Cloud9 to come check out what's going on. Xmithie will just try to move into the enemy jungle, steal away some of these camps. There comes your Kaisa missile, but Jensen's gonna grab the blue.
Now, because the Skarner and Braum are so difficult for Cloud9 to work with here, they have to find an avenue, you know, with the Alistar trying to flank, or with Svenskeren getting that Predator flash from Gragas off, to be able to get that explosive pick. Otherwise, Team Liquid right now, back-to-back defending champs, get attacked in the mid lane.
Svenskeren throws the barrel way past everybody else. Xmithie's gonna get caught out. There is no stopwatch this time, and the Skarner is picked.
Jensen still looking for opportunities though. That was a lot of cooldown used in the kill. Ultimates from Svenskeren, Nisqy, and Zeyzal are down.
Yeah, but you know, Xmithie has got to be a little bit more careful around this area. This is twice now in the last couple of minutes that he has gotten punished. You're playing pretty aggressively in the area, and yes, TL will get away with just the one death, but you do not want to be giving away freebies like that 25 minutes into the game. You know, TL are in a good position to threaten in that Baron area. They have the double Mountain Dragon, so they are the ones who want to establish vision and be able to threaten the turn onto the Baron, because you can burn it down, but not if you don't have your jungler.
Xmithie, he has the Gargoyle Stone Plate completed now, so at least he'll be able to buy a little bit of extra time the next time he ends up in a situation where he's surrounded by Cloud9 members, but the rest of TL would like those situations to just not exist. Jensen's going very aggressive and forced to flash away defensively.
All right, let's see. Team Liquid have split off Impact to the bottom side of the map. Both of the top laners down there trying to get the split push.
Oh, Jensen, he's exploding! Nice shutdown for Cloud9. TP coming in now. This is their chance to do a whole lot. CoreJJ goes away too, and Team Liquid have lost 2 members.
That could potentially be the Baron here for C9. They get a massive pick on Jensen. He couldn't go back to his distortion fast enough. The engage was perfect from Cloud9, and they are going to look to force this. But Doublelift does have a lot of poke. No Nisqy on the side, preparing for a flank.
X-Flash!
Xmithie, there's your Gargoyle Stonequake, keeping him alive. Xmithie trying to buy some time. Impact getting away with the World Ender. Doublelift's now going to be jumped on. The pull onto Sneaky. He's still going to grab the kill. And C9 are delayed, but they win the fight.
Team Liquid do have Jensen coming back up from base though, so the delay might be exactly what they wanted there. Impact is teleporting to safety. He's not sure how many members are actually chasing him. It will be a reset, but Cloud9 strike back so quickly, and you look at the flashes that were blown in that exchange. Impact, Xmithie, Doublelift, all being used.
Yeah, and then you've got to look at the other side, the engagers. Zeyzal and Svenskeren didn't even use theirs. That is so big. The potential of the body slam flash now onto one of these carries, that could spell Baron for Cloud9.
The economy of summoner spells becomes so important in these team fights. With a huge advantage on the side of Cloud9 now, they will get a reset. Not only the Baron, but another Mountain Drake will come up, which is a much safer option if they want to do a baby step first.
At the start of this game, I mentioned unforced errors in Game 4. And the reason Jensen dies, his flash is down because he went too aggressive earlier. Sneaky gets ignited, Summoner Spell's not going to give him too much. Nice sidestep there.
And Jensen knows if he connects those spells, he can one-round him. If you connect with the chain there, Sneaky is dead, right? So that is why he's going for these aggressive plays. He's trying to utilize his advantage, but Cloud9 are so good at engaging those snap decisions to try to punish. And you can see that Kiana is behind them.
Last time it was Zeyzal who was able to get the initiation onto Jensen, punishing him for jumping over the wall. But just because he missed once doesn't mean he will miss every time.
This could turn bloody real fast as the Predator gets popped and Cloud9 take control over the river. Impact is on the Drake, so this is a 4v5 at best for TL. They do not want this fight right now.
Yeah, again, a lack of vision in this area for TL is making it difficult. Nisqy is over the wall there. Impact has no TP, mind you, so if a fight were to break out, he has to hoof it up from that Dragon Pit.
Team Liquid will continue to hold the line. The Drake is playing. The collapse to come in. Jensen finds a lot of damage. Svenskeren nearly killed instantly. Zeyzal's also going to be taken very low. Xmithie very tanky there on the front line. Big three-man knockup coming out from Zeyzal. But Nisqy is gone. Zeyzal is gone. Cloud9 is gone. Licorice is the next target. And Team Liquid find 4.
Team Liquid get everything. They're going to look to try to end this game here, I think. Such long respawn timers. Triple Mountain Dragon. Svenskeren has got to kill these minions.
There is only one way to stop it, and that barrel did not do enough. Team Liquid, very powerful at this point in time. Tier 3 turret is no longer standing. Inhibitor is the target. They're deciding they don't have enough resources to push for the win.
Yeah, the death timers are not long enough yet, but that was a complete outmaneuvering by Team Liquid. Cloud9 running through the river towards the dragon that they take, and not having Nisqy close enough. They get in the trap. Team Liquid will take so much off of that. Not only is the middle of the base open, Baron buff on the chance.
C9 just lost track of where Impact was. I think they had no idea that he was on that dragon.
Yeah.
And as they're walking down to the dragon dies, and they realize that the trap is about to be sprung. It's right here. As you can see, this chunk from Jensen getting them so low.
Not only that, but Doublelift, you see, gets Zeyzal down to 20%, who pops his ultimate. That's basically 2 members of Cloud9 that are out of this team fight at the very beginning, and from that point on, you know it is doomed.
I mean, Jensen, yes, he got caught earlier, but that is the kind of play that can change a game. He goes over the wall, 90% of Svenskeren's health gone, and distorts back before the body slam came through. So Svenskeren has no escape, is very low, and Jensen and Doublelift with that poke win the fight for their team. They get the mid lane inhibitor. They have triple Mountain as well as the Baron, and they are on that power play, and they can look to send us to Game 5.
This is where Team Liquid could end this entire game. 31 minutes in, a 4K lead, which is honestly a closer game than we've seen in any of the previous 3. It's all in Team Liquid's hands. Xmithie next to the blast cone. Could come over the wall if he wanted. does not want to go for that here just yet. We have seen Xmithie too far extended plenty of times in this series and this game specifically. Needs to make sure he's not over-indexing here.
TL though, clearing out all the wards, clearing out that rushes. They know Licorice Zeyzal might just go down.
Zeyzal nearly killed instantly, going to be kept alive by the ultimate. Team Liquid not needing to chase down for the kill completely, but Jensen wants those stats. There comes kill number 1. Svenskeren will only buy a moment, and Jensen gets a double.
Jensen's answer heard loud and clear to Cloud9. He's not giving you that trophy that easily.
Send tweet, Jensen and the rest of the team are pushing into the base.
Yeah, and TL looking to put their stamp on this one. About to grab their second inhibitor here. And with supers coming in the mid lane, TL could look to end it. It's going to be up to Nisqy, Sneaky, and Licorice to try to hold the line.
Still 15 seconds on Svenskeren. CoreJJ knocked away by the Keeper's verdict. Cannon minions putting in a lot of bullets to those Nexus turrets. Oh, that's a nice fight coming out there from Cloud9, though. They will shut down Jensen.
That's the steadfast presence, all just locking down Jensen there.
Now Xmithie's in some danger. Cloud9 trying to go in on Team Liquid while they're a man down. Sneaky into the back line. Doublelift barely getting himself away. Impact still looking to make the fight. Sneaky's going to be taken low, taken out. One more swing of the sword will do it. And Doublelift continues to kite wonderfully. Licorice finds himself in a 1v3. And TL 4v5 win the team fight. Nisqy goes down next.
That's gonna be it. Team Liquid will bring us to Game 5. Play the Silver Scrapes. It's gonna be back-to-back Game 5s today in Detroit.
What a series we have here today. 3 dominant games to start us off, and then this one back and forth, hotly contested. Jensen, such a huge difference maker, it felt like, though. Monstrous laning phase was able to keep them close when everything, it felt like, was going wrong on the top side.
Tyler said he wanted a 5-game series. I wanted a 5-game series. I think most people in this arena wanted a 5-game series. And now we are going there. Both these teams are playing some good League of Legends today. But both these teams have also made some mistakes. I think we saw more of those here in this 4th game than any of the previous ones. And that's really going to need to be fixed up as we head into Game 5.
Yeah, don't let them off so easy there, Captain
Yeah.
There's some demerit.
We got to punish
out.
some of these. Somebody's going to detention for some of these plays.
Honestly, though, keeping their eyes open, looking for these plays, you know, after you fail something on a stage as big as this, like the initiation we saw, Jensen over the wall, you know, immediately gets answered by Cloud9. He continues to look for them. You can't be deterred just because it doesn't work one time.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think that's really important to keep up that level of aggression because it has been the